rockoftalk.com. I'm Eddie Aragon, the Rock of Talk. We're going to kick off our Saturday with Albuquerque Real Estate Talk with none other than Tigo and Tracy Venturi, the Venturi Real Estate Group from Keller Williams Realty. You can dial them directly 448-8888. That's 448-8888. Or welcomehomeabq.com. That's welcomehomeabq.com. Tigo, Tracy, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. Thank you, Eddie. I hope you're doing well too. And you're in the middle of political season, so you've got a whole different world going on. We're in the middle of real estate like we've never seen before. So
it's exciting, isn't it? And you've got a lot of things to talk about. I got to say, we've been moving some product very quickly, and folks, you want to be on the bleeding edge? All I can tell you is this: go to welcomehomeabq.com. Pick up the phone and dial, very easy, 448-8888, or you can listen each and every Saturday right here. We'll talk about September sales activity, alternative ways to buy and sell real estate, and of course, our homes of the week. Tigo, Tracy, take it away for us.
Thanks, Eddie. Wow, Tracy, a lot going on in the real estate world. We've got our little recording studio here at our office set up a little bit better. So if you're seeing this on the recording, the video, we've got our properties showing behind us now on the screen. So
white.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see obviously if you're listening to the radio, but the thing that's interesting, we generally have a fairly large inventory of homes for sale that we're helping clients with. Right now, it's as low as we've seen in a long time. Now we have a lot in the pipeline, but inventory. We talk inventory, right? And that means the number of homes listed for sale. It's at an all-time low in Albuquerque.
Right, and here we are, late September.
I should say not an all-time low, because I'm sure back at some point it was less than this.
When Albuquerque was a much smaller city.
But if we go back to 2000 and...
Well, I think the stats you pulled were to like 2002.
Yeah, 2002, right.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an interesting time. And the other thing that I'm sure you're going to get to as the statomatic of the duo here is I'm sure you're going to talk about the velocity of sales as well as home sales being up significantly over last year this time, which is really interesting. We talked about this a few times. The late March, April, May home sales that didn't happen seem to be happening now still, right?
Well,
keeping us much busier.
It's interesting because it seems like just yesterday we were talking about last year, September, October, Balloon Fiesta, State Fair. Obviously, it's a totally different year this year in so many ways.
Oh, so many.
And I remember just, I've seen this phenomenon every year where September kind of slows down. I don't know if it's State Fair. I don't know if it's back to school. I don't know what it is, but
probably a combination.
Yeah. But this year, so here we go. Here's some preliminary September sales numbers for Albuquerque for home sales. So last year, month to date. So just the first 20 whatever. I went through the 24th. I didn't. I wanted to give it a little bit of time. So the first 24 days of September last year, same time, 845 homes went under contract, received an offer, went pending. This year, 1,230. That's a 46% increase in pending sales this September versus last September, same period. Number of homes on the market down 33% versus same time last year.
Wow. So less homes for sale and more homes selling.
Yeah.
Which means we need more houses to sell.
That's an interesting thing because I've been telling that to people when I'm saying, August was the number one month ever in the Albuquerque market for home sales. Or when I say home sales, I'm talking about pending sales, not the actual closed sale. Number one pending sale month ever. Also with the lowest inventory, I'm going to say ever, but, back to, we can go 20 years back probably.
Wow. Yeah. So the gist of that is the buyers are out here. We know that. We've got a lot of buyers waiting for homes to come on the market.
Yep.
I'm sure other realtors do as well, because we could talk to all the salespeople on our team, and every one of them could say this client's looking for, and this client's looking for, and this
Is rattling
client's
off the
looking
list.
for.
Yeah, there's a yes, for sure.
So if you're thinking of selling, you haven't missed the market. Melissa Romero from our team, she and I went and met with some sellers about 3 weeks ago now.
That's going up in the foothills.
Yeah, and beautiful home with a pool, and kind of we're like, did we miss the season? We've got this beautiful pool, and so we put that one on the market last week, and of course, we've got a lot of interest in it. So you haven't missed the market.
It's already under contract.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about...
So you missed that. It's happening so fast, you didn't even know it happened.
Well, I remember that an offer came in, but I never saw that it was off the market.
It came across my desk, so...
Yeah. So the point is, if you're thinking of selling, you haven't missed the market. And, we'd be happy to meet with you, talk about what your home is worth. And what we know is your home might be worth more than what you think. And I bet you have some statistics on how fast things are selling.
Well, I do have that. I just wanted to mention one thing. In years past, I've always said, September slows down a little bit, but then we usually get a little bump up in October. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what's happened is the April, May, selling season, got pushed. Right. It got pushed out. So now we're still dealing with kind of the busy season is extended now into September, and we'll see how it goes.
We do know that people are still buying while they're putting their kids, in school and teaching them at home. We've had several in the last 2 weeks where they've closed on a home while they're in the middle of homeschooling their kids and things, and
I just can't imagine.
I just can't imagine. Families,
yeah.
But we're resilient. People are resilient.
Yes, we are.
Can do a lot of things, and it can be stressful. But I've seen some of the work a few folks have done now that they've moved in and they've painted, and it's amazing how much they've gotten done. And they also have 3 kids. The family I'm thinking of, they have 3 kids at home, homeschooling, right? And they've redone the kitchen and painted, and it's awesome just to see that we're not stopping. We're not letting these things slow us down.
No, people really are amazing. And let me just give you just that one number you asked for, which is the days on market. And for August, we saw 5 days as the median days on market. That means that half of them sold within 5 days, half of them did not. Currently, setting this month, it's exactly the same so far.
Drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll.
Exactly
The same. But this is the one I found interesting, Tracy, is of all the homes that went on the market in the last 30 days, 61% of them have gone under contract. So that's a pretty, that's a really healthy portion of the home. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, obviously, price point makes a big difference there, right?
There's all the things that we talk about, right? Price, condition, location, presentation, all make a difference. And what, Tigo, I would guess just from working with home buyers and sellers that a lot of the ones that went under contract right away were probably within the first 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
You just gave a 7-day stat. However, I would...
37% within 3 days. So a third are selling, just over a third are selling within 3 days, which basically means immediately.
I should know you had that stat written down.
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
In Tracy, we wanted to talk a little bit about alternative financing methods as well as alternative sales options. You may not even realize that there's other ways to sell your home than just typical, right. Put it on the market and, have people come through, look at it, make offers and so on. There's a few other options. Talk about that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the buyer demand statistics, because that's something I've really been very interested in lately, Tracy, just because I don't want to know what happened last month. I want to foretell what's going to happen in the future. I want to know if the buyer demand is going to keep as strong as it has been.
I didn't know you had a crystal ball.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I found it.
Good.
I found a couple of them, and it's interesting. There's a couple things I'm looking. There's like like 3 or 4 different things. Let's see, go through here. We would go through them. So one of them is the stat from the Mortgage Bankers Association, which is the mortgage companies. They do a statistic on purchase applications, a weekly.
So people who are applying for home loans, we
Right.
know that means in the future we
Right.
expect them to be buying a home. So
Yeah, most
that's
of
a
the
good predictor.
most of the housing economists say, that foretells what's going to happen 30 to 90 days out.
So you do have a crystal ball.
Well,
got it.
But that's one. I mean, that's just one of a few. So you got to look at all of them, right? And that's the problem with statistics and a lot of the news stories that I've been reading lately on real estate, especially the ones that are hyperbolic about how awful everything's going to be and we're going in a bubble and blah 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 blah, is they pick and choose certain statistics and then create a whole narrative around that. And there's a
Right.
whole conversation around the forbearance and the potential for foreclosures and a delinquency rate and all of that. And we can get into that. I will just say along that line, there was some really good news that just came out this week from Black Knight, which is one of the analytics companies that looks at all the mortgages. And the number of new delinquencies coming into the pipeline has really pulled back in the last few months, which is really good news. The number of what they call seriously delinquent, these are the people that are like 90 days delinquent, that has peaked out. And again, that's a good
so we're
sign.
on the down slope.
Well, it looks that way. There's still a lot of people that are in that 90-day delinquent stage, but a lot of those people are also in some sort of forbearance program that will be expiring on October 1st.
So can I just do a sidebar on that?
Absolutely.
So if you're in that category where
Yeah,
you're not
thank you.
making payments and you're not going to be able to get caught up when the forbearance time
Right.
is over,
Right.
give us a call. We can help you. Most likely you have equity in that home, and we have ways. We actually bought a house from somebody and immediately leased them back to them earlier this year.
Yeah.
Actually, we have 2 of those we
Yep.
bought.
Yep.
So there's lots of solutions if you're not able to make your payments regularly and you need help. If you need to sell,
Let's dig into this a little bit, Tracy, because I think it's really important. If you're listening and you're in that situation yourself, or you know somebody that's in this situation, we saw it, Tracy, back in let's say 09, right? Is really when things started. The bottom really started to fall out in 2010. People just froze. They locked up.
And
They just like went into denial, and there were back then there were less options than there are today. We didn't have forbearance back in 2010, right? We didn't have the whole short sale thing was a mess, and trying to do short sales was very difficult back then.
but short sale means we can sell your house, but maybe we won't make enough off the proceeds to sell it to pay off the loan, and so we have to talk the lender into taking short what they're owed, which is what short sale is.
I think that the takeaway is there are options, and people today are in a much better equity position for the most part than they were back in 08 for sure.
Right.
I mean, it's not even close.
So definitely call us 448-8888 if you or somebody you know is in a position where you're not able to make payments, and let's talk about all these options, because there's some great options out there.
There is. There really are. And so we, our job is to help people with their real estate needs, and sometimes they're tough conversations, but you don't want to go in foreclosure, and so there's ways, especially if you're on the forbearance program and you're realizing that I'm not going to be able to pick up where I left off, is basically what happens with the forbearance program. More than likely you'll be able to sell, pull some equity out, put some money in your pocket, just depending on your situation.
Right.
I mean, I would say most people that bought their homes in Albuquerque, let's say a year, definitely 2 years ago, probably are in an equity position, even if they had a low down mortgage.
And when you say in an equity position,
meaning their home is going to be worth more than they owe on it.
right.
And they'll be able to, sell it,
sell it,
cover closing costs, and then potentially put some money in your pocket and not have a foreclosure on your record.
And so those people then need to find some place to live.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the other part that we can help with. So
I wanted to go back. We got way off track, but I think
know.
that's a really important subject that people understand. There's so many more options today. I mean, we think about what happened back then, Tracy, and all those short sales that we were doing and how difficult it was, and the banks didn't really want to deal with you. There are so many more options today, which is, again, one of the other reasons I'm not really worried about a huge housing bubble crisis thing, because the banks and everybody are doing a much better job dealing with it. Okay. Buyers. This is another thing, very different than 2008-9. The buyers went away in 2008, 2009, right? Right now, in Albuquerque, we talked about this, that, homes are pending within 5 days. The median days on market is 5 days. So we know that there's a lot of activity there. We have seen very few. A couple other things I look at is price reductions. The number of homes that are on the market, Tracy, that are getting price reductions, it's very low. Usually this time of year, we will see homes, after school starts and they're starting to realize, okay, we got to get this thing sold before the end of the year, before the holiday.
They
were on the market, and they, maybe they. We see this phenomenon every year. People put their homes on the market late summer and really try to push the price to the max, where late summer it might be a little bit too late, and then you start chasing the market back a little bit. So usually that happens where we see, I've got a chart up here, Tracy, you can see, usually we start seeing price reductions this time of year. This year we're not.
Right.
Okay, so again, that will foretell the demand. I mean, if there's demand out there, people aren't reducing the price on their home. The other one was I talked about that one. Let's see, days to pending. I think that was it in the buyers that are putting in mortgage applications. I never finished that, which was
Crystal Ball. You said there were about 3 things besides.
Yeah, well, I talked about both the price reductions, days on market. Actually, median list price is another one. If median list prices continue to keep climbing up, that means that both the sellers and the realtors are confident about the state of the market. But mortgage purchase applications hit another all-time high last week.
Right. So good. So let's talk about a few homes.
Yes.
So we do have some open houses this weekend, and what I would suggest, because there's a lot of them, not just ones by Venturi Realty Group, a lot of them by other agents, and just go to albuquerqueopenhouses.com and you can see all of them. One that I definitely want to talk about.
Yep. Nope, I just took the mouse away from you. Here, go ahead.
803 Alameda Road Northwest. So this one is very near our real estate office.
Oh, yeah, it's around the
corner. So
there's
Alameda Boulevard, and just north of it is Alameda Road. So don't be confused. This is not on Alameda Boulevard. It's near Rio Grande and Alameda, but Alameda Road. So 803 Alameda Road is open Saturday today, 1 to 3, hosted by Tyler. So go see that house. It's a wonderful $509,000, 2,500 square foot, 4-bedroom house on a half an acre. Great location in the valley.
Yeah, just north of Alameda, the far north valley, as we call it, rural
It's in
feel.
Western Meadows.
Western Meadows, yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's off Guadalupe Trail, not Western Meadows.
Yeah.
Close, right? You're thinking
I think
about.
you're wrong. I think it's off North Rio Grande.
No, it's off Guadalupe Trail. I'm sure of it.
You're positive?
I'll bet you.
This is
I'll bet you. Yep. See? Look, Guadalupe Trail.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys are in the middle of our little disagreement here. Yep.
He's right.
I was right. She was wrong. Everybody got that?
It's recorded too, so forever you can say you were right, I was wrong. And so a lot of open houses, albuquerqueopenhouses.com. The thing that's exciting also is next weekend is the citywide open house blitz.
Can I?
No.
Can I talk about that?
Okay,
it's actually not just citywide. It is statewide this year.
Oh, how exciting. So open houses all over the state next weekend, the 3rd and 4th, I believe it is, Saturday, Sunday, or so New Mexico,
I don't really want to promote somebody's website other than our own, but there is a website, New Mexico.
Well, ours at Albuquerque Open Houses will showcase them as well.
Well, the thing about New Mexico Home Search is it includes the entire state. Yeah, it's
if
the entire
you really need the whole state.
If you need the whole state.
If you're looking in Santa Fe or Farmington or Angel Fire, call us because we have great agents that can help you there.
We got
can help you
great
find
agent.
And look at more houses than just what's open, right?
Yep.
So others, we have a lot of homes that have just hit the market, are
in the
coming
pipeline.
soon or in the pipeline. So call us if you're looking for something specific. We might just have it in the pipeline and we can let you know about it. Otherwise, we have some new houses that were just listed for sale. One in particular is a sweet little house on very far north 4th Street for $169,500. It's just under 1,400
I know we went up
feet.
to El Pinto the other day and drove by it, and it's like, oh, that's right there.
Yeah, we drove past our sign. It's always exciting to see the sign.
Yeah.
It's a small lot right on 4th Street.
Yep.
A little 3-bedroom, 1-bath property. So if you're looking for something, it's really quick, obviously, to get to the freeway and get in and out. It's great if you need to commute to Santa Fe. It's just very close to El Pinto.
Yeah, 169.5, and there's just not much. In Albuquerque these days, under 200,000.
Speaking of 200,000, we've got another one that came on the market this week at 507 Roma Northeast. It's very close to I-25.
Is it downtown?
Downtown, East Downtown.
Okay.
507 Roma, 200,000. It's a townhome, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and that one's also open. So go see that one if it's of interest.
Like the Martinez Town kind of area. Mm-hmm. Got it.
It's between Martin Luther and Lomas.
Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King and Lomas, just west of I-25. So good location. Another one that came on the market this week is 8920 Arkansas, and that is northwest. Close to Unsur, just north of I-40.
It'll be sold by the time this show's over, Tracy.
It could be. It's $240,000. It's really beautiful home that was built by Ray Lee. They have great touches in their houses.
They do.
They always did nice architectural features in the house, and they still do, of course. We have the townhomes in Old Town that are on the market. There's 2 of them built, two of them that are about to be under construction, 1400 Mountain and 1404 Mountain Road. Really cool, 1,925 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 1-garage carport. Brand new, just like finishing touches right now. Those ones are open also. There's actually, Andrew on our team is the new construction specialist for this builder, so he could definitely help you. Just give us a call. We're Venturi Realty Group of Keller Williams Realty. The number is 448-8888. There's so many others that we could talk about, but I think getting on our website at welcomehomeabq.com is the best way.
And like I said, we have stuff in the pipeline too, so you can reach out to us and just get your name on the list. Let us know what you're looking for, and if something that comes available. I think Jamie said we have about 15 in the pipeline right now.
Jamie is one busy woman.
She is.
There we go.
Jamie is our listing manager. She is amazing, takes care of all of the clients that are selling their homes. So, Tracy, one thing you said that when I go back to this whole idea of buyer demand, new construction, that's the other thing. The builders are very confident in the market as well.
So you're right. And builders, let's see, this week the national number came out in over 1 million new home starts, new construction. It was the first time ever over 1 million.
Well, in a long time.
Yeah. And we need them, right? We are behind on getting new homes up, and we can use them all.
All the big picture economists that look at housing and trends and demographics and all that stuff say we just don't have enough homes in the pipeline in the United States.
Right.
And obviously everything's regional, and it's going to be different here and there. There was definitely a period from, you think about from 2008 until about 2015, there was very little new construction going on. And so now there's all these millennials, this whole big demographic group that's coming into the market as first-time home buyers, and the supply's limited.
Right. There's some awesome new homes in our market.
There sure
and
are.
Obviously, we've talked about this before on our show, and you all know as listeners that we can represent you with new construction. And it's great because you might go for a drive and you see one new home builder with a sales office, but what you might not know is there's another one a half a mile down the road that might have a better floor plan for you, or better incentives, or a better lot. So,
and Tracy, why would somebody want to work with a independent realtor instead of directly with the builder sales rep?
Well, for what I was just saying, one of the reasons, because we know of all of them. There's a lot of different builders, and if you go to one builder, they're not going to tell you, hey, you might find a better house if you drive down the road another mile or whatever. Well, plus, we know what we can help you negotiate, what makes sense, what incentives. The reps in those offices, they work for the builder. They don't work for you. And they can't say, hey, I can throw in this or that, or they can't give away things. You have to know what to ask for. And
I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this as against the salespeople that work at those home builders, because they're great people. I mean, we know most of them, and they're hardworking, but they have a fiduciary duty to represent the home builder, not the buyer. And so, if you have a independent party, a licensed realtor that's helping you as your buyer's agent, it doesn't cost you anything. And people think maybe they'll save money if they do that. And the reality is you don't.
They don't reduce the prices and things if you don't have a realtor. So, and honestly, I know from experience, and they want to work with the realtor. They want you to have somebody working hard on your behalf.
Tracy, I wanted to, we tease this, so I wanted to talk about it, is alternative methods of buying and selling homes. And in particular, what were you going to ask?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, you had something.
No, I was going to say that, the market right now, the sellers are really in the driver's seat. So there's not a lot of typical options, right? Because the sellers don't have to get very creative on how they offer their home. They can just get a traditional buyer with their own financing or cash and sell their house. But a lot of times when markets shift, or for some certain people in the population, they need alternatives. And one of those could be,
well, if let's say you have a home and you want to sell it, okay? Traditional method, your best return is going to be get it cleaned up, get it staged, get it looking beautiful, have it move in ready, put it on the market with incredible marketing like we do, and show it to the public, have people come through with showings, have realtors bring people through your house, do open house, all that stuff, right? That's going to generate your highest return. But let's say you have that house and you don't necessarily need to cash out. Maybe it's an estate, maybe it's a home that you had as a rental and you're just kind of done with being a renter or being a landlord. Whatever reason it's a property of some sort that you just don't want anymore. You don't necessarily need all the cash out of it. You could sell it on a real estate contract and be the bank.
Real estate contract is owner financing, so you are the lender.
Yep.
And, we bring a buyer in who for some reason can't get typical financing typically. And the terms we can figure out. They could be 2 years where they have to pay you off. It could be 30 years before they have to pay you off. But, you might just want income off a house. Right?
Well, I was talking
sell it with owner financing.
You would think in this market how busy it is, there wouldn't be a lot of that. But I was talking to Terry White just the other day, who owns Sunwest Escrow.
Escrow?
Yeah, not Trust anymore. Sunwest Escrow. And they're still seeing 100, 150 new real estate contracts a month.
Well, it's
so
great. It's a great wealth building thing.
Well, yeah, you think about that.
For a seller.
You're selling it, and you're being the lender, so you're earning not just your principal back, but you're also earning whatever 5, 6, 7, 8% on that money.
A lot more than you can make by putting that in another investment, right? You can't just put that cash once you sell the house into a bank and get 6, 7, 9%.
So another
I saw
thing is,
one a couple months ago. It was 10% interest.
yeah. How are we doing on time, Eddie? We're just about
We're
done.
actually up on time.
We're up on time. Okay, well, we were talking about alternative financing
We
and
can cover
real
it
estate
again
contracts.
next
but
week.
We'll come back to that because I think it's something we can't forget about, even though the market's so hot right now.
Tigo, Tracy, how can we reach you?
Give us a ring, 448-8888, or welcomehomeabq.com.
There they are, folks. Tigo and Tracy, they're the best. And folks, don't